Imagine a world with no kitchen, just raw earth and raw food. For millennia, our ancestors ate only what they could find, uncooked and unprocessed. Then a spark, maybe from lightning, changed everything, the taming of fire. Fire brought warmth, protection, and the birth of cooking, a revolution for humanity. Cooking unlocked nutrients, fueled our brains, and sparked the rise of culture. The simple act of cooking with fire was the spark that ignited civilization itself. In a world of instant meals and gadgets, we forget the basics of cooking. But when the power goes out, ancient techniques become essential survival tools. These methods teach us to work with earth, fire, and water, creating nourishing meals with minimal equipment. Imagine baking bread in ashes or cooking stew with hot stones, using only what nature provides. These aren't relics, they're practical skills for comfort and control in uncertain times. Ancient cooking reconnects us to our food and the natural world, forcing us to slow down and appreciate the transformation of raw ingredients. These techniques are efficient and sustainable, using local materials and little fuel. An earth oven, for example, traps heat and moisture, cooking food slowly and evenly. By learning from our ancestors, we cook more thoughtfully and sustainably, embracing a more elemental approach to nourishment. Before metal cookware, clay pots revolutionized how people prepared food. Wet clay was shaped, dried, and hardened, creating vessels that could hold liquids and withstand fire. For the first time, soups, stews, and porridges became possible, transforming tough grains and vegetables into nourishing meals. Clay's porous nature creates steam inside the pot, cooking food gently and evenly like an ancient slow cooker. This method tenderizes tough meats and vegetables, melding flavors and making food safer and more nutritious. Clay pots allowed people to extract nutrients from bones and plants, improving health and diet diversity. Across cultures, clay pot cooking left a lasting mark, with each region developing unique vessels and dishes. The clay itself can even add a subtle, earthy flavor. Rediscovering clay pot cooking connects us to a rich global heritage and the earth itself. Ash baking is one of the oldest, simplest cooking methods. No pots, no pans, just food and fire. Dough or starchy roots are placed directly in hot ashes, which insulate and bake the food with gentle, radiant heat. The ash forms a protective crust, preventing burning and creating a steamy, tender interior. Early breads and roasted vegetables were cooked this way, turning basic ingredients into sustaining meals. Potatoes, yams, and onions buried in ashes become perfectly roasted, their skins peeling away with the ash. Ash baking is ingenious, an oven made from the remnants of a fire. It's a vital survival skill, requiring only a fire and gathered food. The smoky flavour is a delicious reminder of our ancient connection to the wild. Ash baking is a direct, elemental conversation between food and fire. Before modern ovens, people worldwide invented the earth oven, a pit lined with hot rocks filled with food and sealed with earth. The rocks act as a heat reservoir, slowly cooking food for hours with radiant and moist heat. Leaves or wet coverings add steam, while the earth traps heat and flavour inside. This method is perfect for tough meats and root vegetables, making them tender and juicy. All the foods mingle, creating flavours impossible to achieve any other way. Earth ovens were at the heart of community feasts, requiring teamwork and anticipation. Unearthing the food was a moment of celebration and togetherness. The earth oven is a tradition of abundance, letting the planet itself help feed the community. How do you boil water without a fireproof pot? Our ancestors invented stone boiling. Heat stones in a fire, then drop them into a container like a basket, hollow log, or hide-lined pit filled with water. The hot stones transfer heat, bringing the water to a boil for soups, stews, or safe drinking. This method expanded diets, allowing extraction of nutrients from bones and plants, and made water safe. Stone boiling was a vital survival skill, requiring only fire, water, and the right rocks. Even today, you can boil water in a non-fireproof container using this ancient trick. It's a powerful reminder of how simple physics and ingenuity can meet our most basic needs. Salt crust baking is an ancient, ingenious technique, encasing food in a thick salt shell and baking it in fire or embers. The salt forms a hard shell, sealing in moisture and gently steaming the food inside. The result? Incredibly tender, perfectly seasoned meat or fish, not overly salty, but deeply flavorful. This method protected food from burning and worked even with primitive heat sources. When cracked open, the salt crust reveals steaming, succulent food. Ancient cultures, especially where salt was abundant, prized this technique for its reliability and results. Today, it's a dramatic restaurant showpiece, but anyone can master it with just salt and fire. Salt crust baking transforms a simple mineral into a sophisticated culinary tool. Smoking food was a game-changer, preserving meat and fish and adding unique flavor. Smoke contains compounds that inhibit bacteria and mold, while drying removes moisture needed for spoilage. This dual preservation method allowed ancient people to store food for lean times. Different woods create different flavors, and our ancestors learned to select their fuel for taste. Smoking was the beginning of barbecue, a slow, patient transformation of tough cuts into delicacies. It's a valuable survival skill, letting you store protein without refrigeration. Smoking teaches patience and the art of flavor development. Good food is often slow food, and smoke connects us to a timeless culinary tradition. Understanding smoke is understanding the alchemy of fire and flavor. Ancient cooking methods are more than curiosities. They're a testament to human ingenuity and survival. Techniques like clay pot cooking, ash baking, and earth ovens use fire, earth, water, and stone to create extraordinary food. These skills are practical and empowering, reconnecting us to our food, history, and self-reliance. They're models of efficiency and sustainability, using local materials and minimal fuel. Ancient methods encourage resourcefulness and mindfulness about our environmental impact. The simplest solutions are often the most elegant. Nature provides the best tools. Cooking together builds bonds and lasting memories, just as it did around ancient hearths. By embracing ancestral secrets, we enrich our lives and keep the ancient flame burning within us. Enjoyed these ancient secrets? Subscribe for more survival wisdom and cooking hacks. Hit the bell icon to never miss an episode.